The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Back on the Domino's post-game report, Carson-Newman falls 115-74 in exhibition play against North Carolina. Joined by Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watring. Coach, certainly not necessarily the beginning of the game that you wanted. I think Carolina was able to get 26 points off of turnovers in the first half. Why were they able to turn you over and then get easy buckets at the other end?
Well, I think with Carolina, I mean, that's the way they want to play, and I think typically they're going to get up in you and press you and see how well you can handle it. If you handle it, you know, they may back up a little bit, but if you don't handle it, which we didn't, then they just kind of pin your ears back and they feel a little bit more aggressive. You know, they've got good length on the perimeter all the way across the board, really, some good speed and athleticism, and I would have never guessed in a million years that we would have responded that way to their pressure. I mean, I thought we were prepared. You know, it didn't look like we were, so, you know, that's got to fall on me, the head coach. But I just think that once they kind of, you know, flexed their muscle on us in that the pressure type situations in 1-3-1, et cetera, you know, we played uncharacteristically bad, and we just started throwing lollipop passes up in the air, and we weren't strong and physical on the perimeter when they were being strong and physical with us. And so, and you saw it, you know, there was just a lot of points off turnovers that was just so uncharacteristic, stuff that we're not used to. And you know, it was, 59-30 at the half, and the biggest difference, we're down 29, and they had outscored us like 24-8 in points off turnovers, and that's where the biggest difference. You know, we got it cut to 11-8. We kind of handled it a little bit. Then we had to sub out. We subbed. You know, that's been one of our problems. We got a little stagnant, and then it got worse. They started getting stuff in transition, whether it be off a missed basket, a made basket, or a turnover. And, you know, we just didn't play, obviously, very well in the first half.
They were able to get a lot of points in the paint, as you would probably expect with their height advantage on the interior. What's your takeaway from the defensive effort in this game? Because at the end of the day, people are going to look at it and see 115 points, 54% shooting. What's your takeaway from a defensive perspective?
I mean, when we got into a half-court set, it wasn't necessarily bad. Now, obviously, we're playing an undersized man in Bird, who I thought played pretty darn hard against 44, who's an all-ACC selection. But, you know, it was the stuff – it was transition defense. And, it's you know, we had talked about it. I didn't prepare them well enough for it, but we had talked about, you know, how they got to run the middle of the floor. And I think what was happening, they would throw it up, and then we would flare out. And then they've got a guy that's just hustling and running faster than our guy, and boom, they get a layup. And then, you know, second-chance points, I don't know what those were. I don't think they were – that big of a deal.
24-13 Carolina.
So that is a big deal. But I just think it was all about transition, you know, and us getting flared out. And you know, Watts hit a bunch of threes, but they were 8 for 23, which, you know, that's what we wanted to do, was to make them shoot outside shots and not give up the layups. And in turn, you know, we gave them a bunch of layups. I thought we gave them a bunch of layups. And a lot of it was an effort thing, which is really kind of disappointing, because I knew if they outplayed us from an effort standpoint, the game would never be close. And I think we saw that definitely in the first half.
What do you take away from a game like this? Because you do get Tennessee on Monday, and Tennessee's ranked 11th in the country there at the D1 level.
You know, I hope what happened tonight, and I think this is what happened, was I think Carolina pumped their kids up that, you know, we're a highly ranked Division II opponent, and the last time we were over here we played a little bit better and held the game competitive for a while. And I think, you know, credit goes to them. I think they came out really wanting to try to prove a point that for them, maybe they're not the 7th best team in the ACC. And for us, you know, there is a difference between what they can put on the floor and what we can. I mean, I think we can play better. There's no doubt about it. But I think this is really good for us. I mean, it's hard to say, but, I mean, back in the day, if you put 74 points up on an ACC opponent, especially a team that played as well as they did tonight, you would probably be happy about it. Obviously, we're not. And, you know, I think we'll drive home on it, chew on it, and see what happened. I like the fact that we got pressured. You know, we're not going to see that pressure in kind of length. We're not going to see it. I don't care if we make the national championship game. You're not going to see that kind of stuff again. So, you know, we're going to have to obviously get back to the drawing board, be ready to handle it in a different environment against Tennessee on Monday.
From an individual perspective, Harris Price had that big third quarter. Micah Wester's in double figures. She has 6 blocks, 6 rebounds in the contest. I thought your freshman responded well to the big stage. What do you see from a couple of the individuals tonight?
I mean, obviously Harris had a pretty good third quarter there. I don't know what she got, but, you know, she really made some spectacular plays and kind of carried us there to get to 28 points in that third quarter. You know, I thought, you know, Micah's stats look okay, but obviously we're going to need her to put the ball in the basket a little bit more. You know, and some of the moves that she was making, she'll score against a smaller defender. You know, she was just it's like Micah told me, you know, they're kind of getting a little. They're already big and strong and athletic and long and kind of stuff, and then they kind of get up in you in the perimeter a little bit, whether it's arm bars or not. It kind of affects you a little bit. And I think some of the shots that she had, especially there in the third quarter, I think she got frustrated a little bit. Those are going to go down. I'm not worried about that. But she does end up with a pretty decent stat line. Obviously, Harris played well there. I was really impressed with Bird, to be honest with you. I really liked her energy. That kind of energy is going to be really good at the Division II level when we start playing like opponents. And, those three in particular. And, of course, I was really happy with Goforth and Abby coming in there at the end. And, they've been sitting the whole game, and then they come out there and play as hard as they did. That was obviously something I'm obviously positive about.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you in a couple days.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Mike Mincey here on the Domino's postgame.